Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching our continuous coverage of the Dangal Delhi Assembly elections. Today is verdict day, and of course, we're getting you the very latest. We'll also be joined by a stellar panel who will help us decode the election results and what it really means for not just Delhi politics, but also for assembly elections that are coming up in the next few months and for politics of the entire country. And of course, from the kind of leads that we're seeing, Lotus is all set to bloom in the national capital. The party, which has been vying to return to power for over 2 decades, is finally set to form government in the national capital. Aam Aadmi Party's dream of matching Sheila Dikshit's record of completing 3 consecutive terms from 1998 to 2013 is all set to be shattered. And the Congress, well, that is in tatters. The grand old party is staring at a bleak blank, languishing with 0 seats from the kind of numbers that we're seeing. With the BJP eyeing victory, is this the final lid on India alliance, which already saw infighting between the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party during Delhi elections? Well, the heated electoral battle in the national capital is all set to have long-term implications, not just, like I said, for Delhi governance, but also for national politics. Isn't it, Sumit?
Well, that's going to be a new phase of government. BJP, as we see, is going to form the government. Well, let's begin by listening to what FM Sitharaman, her first reaction came on Delhi elections. After all, she did a lot in the budget.
Under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, we are very keen that Delhi gets a government which serves its people. And that's something which is the need of the hour for attaining Viksit Bharat 2047. India's capital region, national capital region, should have a government which serves the cause of its people. And I strongly believe that the roadmap that the Prime Minister has set for the country should certainly take Delhi on the top priority and serve its people from every point of view, for all the human development indicator related issues and also the fundamental infrastructure, schools, hospitals, people's healthcare, and a capital worth India's Viksit Bharat aspirations.
And to put everything in perspective, how things have changed on ground in Delhi, why they have changed, and what is the future going to be like. And we will be discussing all that with our eminent panelists, including Hitesh Jain, spokesperson of BJP, R. Jagannathan, he is senior journalist, Akhil Chaudhary, spokesperson Congress, and Abhinandita Mathur, spokesperson Aam Aadmi Party. Well, let's begin by asking Mr. Hitesh Jain, beginning with BJP. Mr. Jain, did you expect this kind of victory? And if yes, now what's your next course of action going to be? Well, tall promises have been there, but how are you going to fulfill them? Mr. Jain, you have to unmute yourself.
If you would have noticed, in last 10 years, the voters of Delhi have only got empty promises, and in return gift, they got a shishmal scam, liquor scam, and all sorts of public fund which could have been extended for the development of Delhi was spent on personal campaign of Mr. Kejriwal. So as against that, if you would have noticed, if voters will be not angry now, then when? Even and on the eve of the election, Mr. Kejriwal was not seeing the writing on the wall, and he was making preposterous and baseless allegation that Bharatiya Janata Party leadership is trying to poison the waters of Yamuna. So I think the city voters of the Delhi have realized that enough is enough. It is a time to teach the lesson to the leadership of Aam Aadmi Party and to Mr. Kejriwal, who had made this election as a referendum on his personal credibility crisis. The voters of Delhi have spoken, and they have spoken and how, and they have given a resounding victory. I congratulate the crores and crores of Karyakartas of Bharatiya Janata Party and the leadership of Bharatiya Janata Party who guided them. And the voters have also expressed their faith in Modi's, Prime Minister Modi's guarantee and the commitment, and they have realized that if Delhi needs a development and if Delhi needs, there has to be a proper problem to solve the problems of the Delhi state, then people should give an opportunity to Bharatiya Janata Party so that the double engine government can work on ground and ensure the problems of water, sanitation, garbage, all these issues are addressed. These are the issues of people. These are the issues that affect the people. We have also noticed that all sorts of promises were made by Arvind Kejriwal, who was not offering any development, but only being arrogant by telling, "I will give you free, I will give you this free." I think the voters of Delhi has given a clear warning and lessons to those leaders who make shoot and scoot allegations. So this is a lesson for all those leadership of different parties also, who only make allegations on the eve of the election. So what matters is the credibility, what matters is the commitment, and what matters is that the party should work for the development of the people.
All right. Absolutely, Hitesh. Thank you very much for your opening comments, and many congratulations on the kind of stunning victory that the BJP is leading towards. As of now, 23 for the Aam Aadmi Party, 47 for the BJP. Let me come to the Congress spokesperson, Mr. Akhil Chaudhary. Mr. Chaudhary, Congress scoring a 0, and today when Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Mrs. Vadra, was talking to reporters, she was saying that she hadn't seen the results at 11 a.m. She was saying that she hadn't seen the results. What kind of introspection is now needed for the Congress party to do, and what are some of the lessons that you've learned from the kind of performance that you've drawn in Delhi elections?
When we know that we haven't won a single seat in last 2 elections, and this election also, let's see how many win. It will be in the end of the day that the genuine figures will be out. Hopefully we will win a few seats, but I'll give you a chronology in Mr. Amit Shah style. The chronology is, there was a very good government which was doing good work for the infrastructure of Delhi, for the social justice of Delhi. That was Sheila Dikshit ji's government. Then came India Against Corruption. So if I tell you in terms of theater, there are 3 things. One is actor, one is director, and the other third part is the prop, which is the property. Arvind Kejriwal was an actor, and Anna Hazare ji, which everybody that time was respecting, he was just a prop. Who was the main director? That was the RSS. So today, one RSS government is going and the other one is taking place. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's personality, his megalomaniac personality, because what he did in Haryana, we all know that we lost, the Congress party lost because he declared all 90 seats before consulting anyone. And today we are seeing that, of course, we are not winning the election in Delhi, but we are doing a good job as far as the numbers are concerned, as far as the percentage of vote share is concerned. Last time we were something around at 4%. Now we have crossed 6.5. So we are improving in as far as the vote share is concerned. But of course, there is a lot to introspect about. All our top leadership, including the Congress President Kharge Sahab, all our Delhi leadership, and all the Congress workers have to come together and think about it, that what should be the way ahead and how we can improve things in future.
Abhinanita Mathur, spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party. Well, first of all, I would like to ask you, were you prepared for this and you ready to sit in opposition? What's your next plan going to be?
What our next plan is going to be is clear, that we will continue to work for the people. We'll continue to work for the marginalized. We have a government in Punjab. We will work harder there as well. And I think that, overall, we would also like to congratulate, along with the BJP, the ED, the CBI, and everything that happened in the last 5 years by design. But having said that, we totally respect the people, the mandate of the people, and be in no hurry to write off the Aam Aadmi Party. Perhaps we needed this churning. We will be back and work harder and continue to raise the issues of the people.
That's a good thing you have said now, but Going forward, would you like to? I would like to come to Mr. Jagannathan and would like to ask him, according to you, sir, what BJP is going to do, the first immediate things which BJP should focus on or should try to work on at the earliest?
See, the BJP, I'd like to say one or two things about AAP. See, this verdict is a vote against the existing AAP leadership, especially because Kejriwal made it a referendum on himself and his governance, right? So the real vote is not against AAP as such, because they were just about 3 percentage points behind the BJP. So they have a substantial vote bank that remains. It is the leadership that should say that this is what is not required by the people. That's one thing. So the BJP, the first thing it has to do, based on the lesson of being humbled in its home base, is that don't let ego and victory go to your head. Hubris is what brought down Arvind Kejriwal, and hubris is not going to help the BJP if it is going to govern Delhi properly. The advantage the BJP has today is that it need not be constantly working cross purposes with the lieutenant governor, because Delhi is an unusual state. It is a half state where some subjects are with the state government, the rest is with the center, because it is a national capital. This was the thing that Kejriwal could not live with. He could easily have focused his efforts on the two things that were directly in his control, which is education and health. He could have done a brilliant job in these two areas and said that, look, this is the example the country needs to follow. He started in the right direction, but somewhere along the lane, he got too carried away with this freebie culture. Everything is free, this is free, that is free. And then freebie became the only calling card. The second problem is the hypocrisy he demonstrated. He came after the India against corruption agitation. So people thought he was a different kind of politician. But in the end, in terms of perception, he did not appear to be any different. Now, I have nothing against the Sheesh Mahal. A chief minister should have a comfortable residence to stay in. But he told the people that he is going to live in some very modest thing and all that stuff. So what you say and what you do, if they are two different things, it's a problem. The same thing will now apply to BJP. Going forward, there are so many issues that Delhi needs to be fixed beyond the freebies that have already been promised, like 2,500 to women and all that stuff. I mean, they have got to fix basic things like education and health and law and order. And of course, clean up the pollution in the water and in the air. These are 5 stupendous tasks. If along with the LG, they can work together and start sorting out these problems, they may well have a second chance 5 years from now. Of course, 5 years is far away. So many things can change. But the BJP has a chance now to make sure that some of the things that tripped Arvind Kejriwal will not trip it. So first, of course, they have to find a leadership face. They could have 3 or 4 contenders. And I think the person who downed Kejriwal could well be one of the contenders, but there could be others too. I think they have to they have not found the leadership and yet they have won. So that's credible, which means that the party has managed to get learned its lessons from losses elsewhere. It has corrected things. It made this both a local and a national election. Some difficult trapeze act, but it has managed it. People got convinced that yes, maybe these guys deserve a chance.
Right, Jaggi sir, and very rightly put that there is some, soul searching and of course some introspection that the Aam Aadmi Party needs to do so far as its leadership is concerned, so far as its core plank on which it is offering itself to the people, on what its politics going to be. Because we also heard from Anna Hazare just a short while back that the brand got diluted. The very brand that came on the plank of anti-corruption was mired in several corruption controversies. But let me stay with you, Mr. Jaggi. Sir, was Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal's making of remarks like the, pollution in Yamuna is being created by BJP spokespersons and that it's been poisoned by the BJP, and to go so far as to say that there is a genocide currently underway, was it taking politics too far, and was it the final nail in the coffin?
Yeah, I think a leader's credibility is tested on how balanced and in what you can make sharp points during an election. But you can't make wild allegations we know that the Yamuna is polluted. So to say that it was being deliberately poisoned by the Haryana government in order to create a problem for Delhi citizens is completely wrong. I mean, there is no proof. If you have proof, you should have produced it. So this was a complete. The other thing is he's made wild allegations. Even in the past, so earlier he said somebody is going to kill me. I mean, the first term he was full of anti-Modi rhetoric and say they are planning to kill me, do this, do that. I don't think that was the case at all, but they went on and on and on about these things. And when it comes to wild allegations, you see, even from the India Against Corruption movement itself, the Aam Aadmi Party believed that it had the high moral ground and said that everybody it opposed must be put in jail. Okay. Now, when you have that kind of attitude, no, we must put Tata, Birla, Ambani, everybody in jail. If that's the way you're going to approach corruption, then how can anybody have sympathy for you when you yourself got jailed in a alleged corruption scam? Now that scam is still to be proven in the courts. But the thing is, your view was that first put people in jail is the approach of the Aam Aadmi Party before they came to power in 2013 and then 14. So now you can hardly say that I should not be put in jail on the same suspicion, but others can be. So that hypocrisy element and over-the-top allegations actually ultimately do not cut any ice with the people. People see that as theater and overblown kind of charges, which was, I think, went against them in the end, because the credibility of a leader is tested when he speaks. He can say some things that are edgy, but not something that is so wildly over the top that people think, if we can say this kind of thing, what do you know, can I trust him with dealing with my issues like pollution or water, water contamination, all those things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. And this is, my message to the Aam Aadmi spokesperson here as well, that this is the pollution problem. The daily problems of governance is something the Delhiites like myself and Sumit have been battling for the past many years. In fact, pollution now is a year-round problem and not just limited to the 3-4 winter months. On that note, let me come to you, Mr. Jain. Hitesh, now the big question is who's going to be the chief minister? It's a done deal with Mr. Pravesh Verma, being the next chief minister of the national capital. And secondly, what is your message going to Arvind Kejriwal, who reportedly has lost his seat, the New Delhi seat, to Mr. Verma?
See, elections, you win or lose. There are various factors for winning the election, and there are various reasons for losing the election. But when you lose the credibility, as Jaggi pointed out, Mr. Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party has lost the battle of credibility. And that is the big problem for him, because when you lose the credibility, it becomes very difficult to make a comeback. As I mentioned to you, in the last 10 years, the manner in which, take one example, like Mr. Kejriwal accused everyone of the corruption. But in 2024 election, every person he accused of corruption, he was sitting with them and basically trying to ask them to support him in the election, and he was supporting them. That was the first factor. Second thing, he set up bar so higher that I will accuse from 2013 to 2018, the bar that was set by Mr. Kejriwal was that if anybody is accused of corruption, he should be thrown in the jail. But when the same rules were applied, he said, no, the same rules cannot be applicable. I will make, there will be different set of rules that will be applicable. Third, his credibility in terms of both the car, the house, and the kind of the appearance that he was showing and what he was doing. Another thing that you would have noted that in his residence, Swati Maliwal, his own Rajya Sabha MP, was also assaulted. So that was the credibility also on the law and order, that if people are not safe in the residence of Chief Minister, how will the Chief Minister ensure law and order in the state of state of Delhi? So on all counts, I think Mr. Kejriwal had lost the credibility, and therefore I don't think I have to offer any advice to Mr. Kejriwal. But I think the people are very smart. They are aware people. The citizens and voters of India are very aware voters, and the message for him is don't take voters or citizens of India for granted, because theatrics don't work. It is credibility that works in India.
Yeah, I go to Mr. Jagannathan. Sir, you would have seen many capital cities of the world. You would have seen Tokyo, you would have seen the big Paris, London, all of them. Now Delhi going to be compared to all these big global capital. You think How is it going to be that of that stature? Definitely, or eliminating or maybe removing pollution is one factor. But now we have to work towards becoming a world-class city, which definitely Mumbai was once being compared to Beijing, but now Delhi being BJP in center, double engine ki sarkar. How that can that be possible?
See, if there is an intention and a will to do that, unfortunately, a large part of the Delhi budget is now taken up by freebies, which, of course, they'll have to come out of. From a revenue surplus, they have become a revenue deficit state. And this will continue in the short term, at least the next 2-3 years. But there are 5 things that they have to do. See, the BJP now controls Haryana, and now there is Delhi. Now they need to work closely with Punjab to solve the pollution problem, because the pollution problem is from the burning of the stocks and other things. The rice stocks and other things. That's one of the reasons for the pollution during winter. Secondly, there is a lot of vehicular pollution. So they can promote EVs as a very big thing. Plus, they can try and reduce other things. And water pollution, of course, needs a very concentrated effort by both Haryana and Delhi, so that the Yamuna is cleaner and fit to drink or at least bathe in. The point is, these are all long-term issues. They cannot be solved in 1 month or 1 year. The last and most important thing, I think Delhi needs to do a better job at skilling both on the educational level. You need to focus. I think the Aam Aadmi Party started in the right place of talking about education and health, but then soon lost its way and lost the focus. In 10 years, you could have turned the whole education system around, but you did not. Because the public schools, the state-run schools, that is where you need to show the biggest improvement. So if you are not going to focus on that, and if basic people, when you reached secondary stage, if you can't read, write, and count properly, then your basic skill sets don't matter after you've graduated also, because basically you can't comprehend, you can't understand, you cannot communicate well. All those things are there. Same with counting. So those are the skills that need to be imparted in public schools, and it is easily solvable, and it is not a money issue at all in education, because I know at least 10 industrialists who will be happy to take on all the public sector schools. With very little additional cost, they can improve the quality of educational outcomes. Health is a little more difficult thing, because there's a lot of costs, because you have tests, you have hospitalization calls. I think Ayushman Bharat can be extended, but Ayushman Bharat itself needs to be streamlined so that it actually works effectively. A lot of people go there and they find that some things don't work. So making things work with what you already have is going to make a huge difference, whether it is pollution or skilling, or it is about healthcare outcomes. I think they need to have a 5-year plan, and in 2030, where if the BJP goes back and say, look, I have brought down pollution on an average from this to this, water pollution from this to this, I've improved the educational outcomes from this to this, I've improved my primary and secondary healthcare system so that Delhiites are healthier. All these are interlinked actually. Pollution and things are also related to health. It is not just about health spending. So you have to have an integrated approach. Now that they have LG also, who's not going to work at cross purposes, they have the best possible chance in 2 decades to get things done.
Right, Mr. Jagannathan, on that note, I would like to take a break, but I would like to ask my eminent panelists to stay with us. We'll come back with more discussion, more news on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. Stay with ET Now. Welcome back, and we are here with discussions on happening this vote, this election in Delhi. If we give you the picture currently, Arvind Kejriwal has lost his seat. BJP is heading for big win in Delhi. And now I'll go to another panelist, Akhil Chaudhary, spokesperson Congress. Mr. Chaudhary, a few hours ago, Omar Abdullah, J&K Chief Minister, he tweeted taking a dig at the fighting happening between you and Aam Aadmi Party, though you were part of Indie Alliance also. So do you think this model is somewhere not acceptable by people in Delhi, that at one side you both were together in general elections, but now here you were against each other, and Omar Abdullah also took a dig at that?
Yeah, he took a funny, sarcastic dig. I saw the tweet he just wrote. But the thing is that he was part, the Aam Aadmi Party was part of the India Alliance. I don't know, they are still part of the India Alliance. The Congress Party is part of the India Alliance. But what they did in Haryana, it was not the Congress Party who betrayed anybody in the Delhi elections. It was actually when we were having a talk with the Aam Aadmi Party before the Haryana elections. It was that time that he got bail from court, and when he came out, when Arvind Kejriwal came out, he declared all 90 seats in Haryana, and that impacted the results of Haryana. And Congress, which was winning the Haryana elections, every exit poll was showing that they actually did a dent in it, and that was the result. Again, they were doing all sort of things, and this time around, so because we are not an NGO, we are a political party, we are supposed to fight elections, and that's what we did. We fought our elections pretty well, and we tried to convey our message to the people of Delhi, and we couldn't succeed, but we managed to secure more votes than the previous elections.
Fine. Yep.
All right.
Over to you.
Let me take one question from. All right. Let me take one question from Abhinandita Mathur. Abhinandita, would you say that going ahead against the Congress party with which you've collaborated, otherwise was a bad strategy? And secondly, I want to get your thoughts on where do you see the future of the India alliance headed now? Because there are states wherein you have gone with the Congress party and then you have, gone against the Congress party. That really does create some confusion in the minds of the electorate on where you stand ideologically.
I think Congress worked very hard in this election to ensure that the BJP wins. And I must congratulate them for succeeding in that. As far as the future is concerned, honestly, for us, it is the country that is important. And we will stand with anybody who is willing to fight and not kneel down before the powers like the BJP. So where the future lies in terms of the India alliance, like you saw, there were other parties in the alliance who came and helped us in this election. We will go and help them in future elections. This will continue. But as far as the Congress in Delhi is concerned, well, all I can say to them now is congratulations for ensuring that the BJP won. And where we go from here in terms of the alliance, I think you'll have to give us a few days to give you an honest answer.
Mr. Jagannathan, I will come to you now. Again, economy question. After all, we have so many economy questions here. If we talk about the per capita GDP of Delhi, well, definitely that has to be now increased as well. A lot of unemployment. All these issues are always at the mind of voter. Economy is something BJP always stand for. So here I talk to you on two subjects. First of all, how will BJP increase per capita income? And do you see BJP coming or bringing this model of freebies down over the next few years? Because after all, it is damaging to economy to some extent.
Yeah, but I think the freebie economy has been completely is now an accepted template. We have Bihar election coming another 8 months later. So I am 100% sure that despite Mr. Modi not being very keen on it, the JDU BJP government there will see the payment of something like 2,000 or 2,000. Even though Bihar is hardly one of those robust economies, they will make these things in order to get re-elected. The same thing will happen next year and the year after that. Again, in Punjab and the Tamil Nadu, then West Bengal, all coming up next year. So I think Bihar, you'll see a continuation of it. Only thing is we have about 6 to 8 months before that happens. So there is some time for the government to take decisive action to make a lot of changes so that the most important thing is what we saw in the economic survey. They talked about deregulation substantially in all the states, and most of the areas where deregulation need to take place are in the states. It is not at the central level that the regulations are excessive. It is at the state level, because what do businesses need in order to create jobs? You need power, you need land, you need local water. You need, all these are controlled controlled by the states. And of course, there are labor and also other issues, right? It is only capital which can come from banks and other things. The rest of it is all locally regulations, and an excess of Inspector Raj is going on there where people are collecting money. So unless this deregulation takes place at the state level, the chance of you doing a lot of improvements in jobs and freeing up the businesses to expand is not going to happen. So BJP in Delhi, where there is no resistance to all these things, should get out of Babu Raj. Unfortunately, it is the same Babus who actually probably voted for the BJP after the huge tax breaks to middle class and also the announcement of the pay commission. So, but the thing is, I think we need less Babudam in Delhi. And if the BJP can make sure that Delhi deregulation takes place very fast and it becomes conducive for the setting up of more and more companies. Remember, Delhi is already a semi-startup capital apart from Bangalore. After Bangalore and one other place, Delhi is probably the biggest thing. And Delhi and Western UP and Haryana constitute the NCR region. 5% of the population lives in the NCR. So if you can make the lives of 5% of the population much better, I think it's a terrific model. And BJP should use Delhi as a pilot case where it can show the rest of the states what can be done through deregulation, making business climate better. And if you can't do it in Delhi, I don't think you can do it in Jharkhand or Maharashtra. So you have to do it right here when you have the power to do it, where both center and state can act together, because you have the state which can focus on the health and education. You have the center which you can do a lot of deregulation in Delhi and things. I think it can be done. It's a good pilot for the world, for the rest of India, I think.
Absolutely, Mr. Jagyan. We'll have to see how the BJP really gets to the task with respect to the several areas of focus that you have mentioned, whether it's cleaning of Yamuna, whether it's getting the city rid of the pollution, and of course, how to capitalize on the vast startup ecosystem that the city currently has. Hitesh, let me come to you on that note. What are your party's key priorities going to be? And is there a timeline that you're looking at with respect to fulfilling each of these priorities?
Clearly defined. First is about Har Ghar Jal or Nal. So we have to provide the piped water supply to every house. Second is the cleaning of Yamuna River that we have committed clearly. Third is for the development of Delhi. I think we will also have to take an audit of the work that has been done in the past 10 years. We have to ensure that we stop all the leakages. And one thing I can assure you, and you will see a visible difference in the next 1 or 2 years on basic parameters where people were complaining, whether it was road, whether it was sanitation, whether it was sewage, whether it was pollution. You will see, or you will see a proper action that will take on the ground, and not just empty promises. And the blame game is going to stop. So Delhi is going to Delhi is going to enter into a new era, an era of development, and basically the state which people are looking forward to live in. So I think you are going to see a fundamental changes and shifts in the coming years in Delhi.
Well, thank you all the eminent panelists for bringing to light and giving important perspectives on what has happened in Delhi. In Delhi, well, definitely Aam Aadmi Party has been routed and BJP is going to be in power, but big task ahead of BJP as well. Thank you, the panelists Hitesh Jain, R. Jagannathan, Akhil Chaudhary and Abhinandita Mathur. Thank you once again.